This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
IWS Aviation.
මේ පහසුව පෙන්වන එක විදිය. MySLT app කියන්නේ පහසුවට කියන තවත් නම. අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Supreme Court terms Port City Bill to be unconstitutional. Speaker tells Parliament. First Empower Board listing Chris World accepted by the Colombo Stock Exchange. News in detail. Supreme Court has ruled that a series of provisions of a Colombo Port City Commission bill was inconsistent with the Constitution. The determination by the Supreme Court was read out in Parliament by the Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena this morning when the Parliament met. Speaker of the Parliament Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena said that some of the provisions were inconsistent with several articles and require special two-third majority while some also require a referendum. However, the Supreme Court has suggested a series of amendments to remedy the inconsistencies and avoid the special majority or a referendum.
I wish to inform the Parliament that I have received the determination of the Supreme Court in respect of the bill entitled Colombo Port City Economic Commission, which was challenged in Supreme Court in terms of Article 121(1) of the Constitution. The determination of the Supreme Court as to the constitutionality of the bill entitled Colombo Port City Economic Commission is as follows. The provisions of clauses 3, 6, 33, 33, second proviso 55(2) and 58(1) of the bill are inconsistent with the Article 12(1) of the Constitution and could be validly passed only with a special majority provided for the Article 84(2) of the Constitution. However, the said inconsistencies will cease if clauses are amended as mentioned in the determination of the Supreme Court.
The Parliamentary Committee on Public Finance was briefed on the development and proposals of the multi-billion-dollar Colombo Port City project recently. The Board of Investments of Sri Lanka announced at the meeting that the first project of the Colombo Port City would be launched with an investment of $100 billion and will be executed in 2 phases. The Committee on Public Finance, chaired by Parliamentarian Minister Anrupiya Darshana Yapa, told the Board of Investment that ventures with a variety of tax cuts would directly benefit the country's economy. Accordingly, the first phase of the development of this international financial center will consist of an high-grade office tower, 2 high-end residential buildings and a shopping podium which is expected to be finished in 2025. The Strategic Development Projects Act allows for tax breaks and the hiring of foreign employees as a part of the program. However, 75% of unskilled staff, technical workers and higher level employees on the other hand would be hired locally. In addition, the Committee on Public Finance gave its approval to the Ceylon Tyre Manufacturing Company, which will begin exporting high-quality tyres in July on the grounds of the Hambantota International Port. After 36 months, this project is scheduled to begin its commercial operations. Although this project would benefit from substantial tax relief, BOI Chairman Dr. Sanjay Mohottala claimed at the meeting that the benefits would accrue to local rubber planters. State Minister Susil Premajayantha drew the committee's attention to the high prices of Sri Lankan domestic goods in comparison to those in other countries, and Minister Vidura Wickramanayaka claimed that the tax breaks given to foreign firms should also be given to local businesses. Purchasing managers' indices for both manufacturing and services operations in Sri Lanka contracted in April 2021 after the seasonal holidays and the advent of the third coronavirus wave. According to the Sri Lanka's Purchasing Managers Index, the manufacturing sector contracted to 44.3 in April 2021, down from 22.7 index points from March 2021. This was mostly attributed to substantial reductions in the sub-indices production, new orders, stock of purchases and jobs, which contrasted with the significant expansion seen in March. With the end of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year seasonal demand, new orders decreased significantly, especially in the food and beverage manufacturing sector. In April 2021, the supplies delivery time increased at a faster pace owing to delays in receiving imported and local materials. Furthermore, several respondents stated that freight prices remained high, raising the cost of imported raw materials, which negatively impacted their profit margins. The manufacturers warned that the confusion surrounding the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic would stymie the country's manufacturing activities. As a result, average industrial activity forecasts for the next 3 months have been declined dramatically from the previous month. The services PMI dropped to 48.9 in April 2021, reversing the sector's 4-month growth pattern. Deteriorations in new markets, economic activities, jobs and operations expectations fueled the slowdown. The number of new companies and business activities in the services sector decreased in April 2021, especially in the transportation, education and insurance subsectors. Due to localized lockdowns and the development of roster programs despite the uptick in COVID-19 incidents, job backlogs rose in April 2021 after decreasing for 2 months. Moreover, the expectations for market activities for the next 3 months declined in April 2021 after increasing for 5 months in a row, reflecting the negative sentiments sparked by the outbreak of the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. We'll be right back with more news after this short commercial break.
දැන් නිවසේ සිටම ආරක්ෂාකාරීව පහසුවෙන් SLT Mobitel Home බිල්පත් ගනුදෙනු සිදු කරන්න ඔබට පුළුවන්. MySLT app එක හරහා SLT Mobitel වෙබ් අඩවියෙන් බිල්පතේ QR කේතියෙන් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් බැංකින් හා බැංකින් app මගින් ඔබේ ආරක්ෂාව වෙනුවෙන් වගකීම් ඉටු කරන SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැදියාව.
මේ දවස්වල ඔබ ජීවිතේ නවතීවී කියා අනියත බියකින්ද ඈත ඉස්පිරිතාලයකට වඩා ගෙයි ස්තූප්පුව වටිනවා. හුස්ම පිඹින යන්ත්‍රයකට වඩා හුස්ම පරිස්සම් කරන මුඛාවරණයක් වටිනවා. ප්‍රතිකාරයට වඩා ප්‍රවේශම වටිනවා. නිතර දෑත් සෝදන්න. මුහුණ නිතර අතගන්න එපා. දුරින් නැසුරු කරමු. නිවස අපේ ජීවිතේ නවාතැන කර ගනිමු. ජීවිතයේ සීනයට වාසනාවේ ආශිර්වාදය. NLB.
මේ පහසුව පෙන්වන එක විදිය. MySLT app කියන්නේ පහසුවට කියන තවත් නම. අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app දැන් සියලුම SLT Mobitel සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT Mobitel එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
දැන් නිවසේ සිටම ආරක්ෂාකාරීව පහසුවෙන් SLT Mobitel Home බිල්පත් ගනුදෙනු සිදු කරන්න ඔබට පුළුවන්. MySLT app එක හරහා SLT Mobitel වෙබ් අඩවියෙන් බිල්පතේ QR කේතියෙන් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් බැංකින් හා බැංකින් app මගින් ඔබේ ආරක්ෂාව වෙනුවෙන් වගකීම් ඉටු කරන SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැදියාව.
Welcome back after the break. The Colombo Stock Exchange today approved and listed the application submitted by Crisworld Limited to be listed as the first company on Empower Board of the CSE. After having a virtual bell ringing ceremony at the CSE premises this morning, Crisworld Chairman Cristo Pereira invited all SMEs to be fearless and take the challenge by listing on the CSE.
And as an SME, I'm really thankful that we've been given an opportunity to list and then to go public, because it's an opportunity that we should not miss. We have got funds from people without having to go to sources where we have to pay high interest. I think that's a great boon for us and a great benefit for us. And now the ball is in our court to make sure that we deliver on the promises that we have given. And we will deliver because we are an aggressive, dynamic and a very successful bunch of people.
To deter the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the government has agreed to enforce travel restrictions across the country from 11 p.m. this Friday to 4 a.m. on coming Tuesday. At the meantime, the Ministry of Finance today declared that the salary of the public sector employees will be paid on the 21st of May this Friday due to the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the country. As the number of COVID-19 patients and deaths continue to mount daily in Sri Lanka, the detection of 2,456 COVID-19 positive persons yesterday brought the country's total COVID-19 patient count to 145,202. According to the Department of Government Information, 2,433 patients detected yesterday were linked to the Nivea cluster. The Health Promotion Bureau statistics shows that more than 25,573 people are under treatment for COVID-19, with 119,629 being the total number of COVID-19 cases recovered and discharged in Sri Lanka. The officials yesterday announced 19 more COVID-19 related deaths, rising the total fatalities in Sri Lanka to 981. Moreover, State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Channa Jayasumana, states that 85,000 doses of the Russian-made Sputnik V coronavirus vaccines will arrive in Sri Lanka on the 25th of this month. The Sri Lanka Army recently transformed a former garment factory in Seeduwa into a fully functional COVID-19 treatment center in response to the government's decision to increase the hospital network's bed capacity. This is the country's first and largest COVID-19 hospital with a capacity of 1,200 patients and all necessary health services. The Ministry of Public Administration also announced that the days of May 24th and 25th have been designated as special government holidays. The Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, J.J. Ratnasiri, further stated this does not include the bank and mercantile sectors. The newly announced travel ban coincides with the Vesak festival, which falls on the 26th of May. The United Nations Children's Emergency Fund yesterday called for a national equitable delivery of vaccinations, diagnostics and therapeutics to curtail the outbreak of the virus. UNICEF Executive Director Henrietta Fore stresses that COVAX, the global COVID vaccine equity scheme, will be delivering its 65 million dose soon, which should have been at least its 170 millionth. UNICEF Executive Director Henrietta Fore said in a statement that the organization has repeatedly warned about the dangers of letting down and leaving low and middle income countries without equitable access to vaccines, diagnostic and therapeutics. She also said that cases are increasing and health services are falling in both near and far countries such as Nepal, Sri Lanka and Maldives. The UNICEF director also cautioned that the deficit will be near 190 million doses by the time G7 leaders meet in the UK next month, as a deadly wave of COVID-19 continues to sweep through India and much of its South Asian neighbours. She also stated that due to rising vaccine demand, COVAX would be unable to access 140 million doses planned for delivery to low and middle income countries by the end of May, and another 50 million doses are expected to be missing in June. Director 4 pointed out that if the G7 nations and European Union member states shared just 20% of their available vaccine doses between June, July and August, they could donate around 153 million vaccine doses. UNICEF Executive Director Henrietta Fore further stresses that sharing immediately available excess doses is minimum, essential and emergency stopgap measure which is needed right now. We'll be right back with the stock updates.
දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව.
ටෙක්ස්ටෝරියම් අංකානෝනාවිය කෙලින් වීදිය කොළඹ 11.
මේ පහසුව පෙන්වන එක විදිය. MySLT app කියන්නේ පහසුවට කියන තවත් නම. අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app. දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
දැන් නිවසේ සිටම ආරක්ෂාකාරීව පහසුවෙන් SLT මොබිටෙල් හෝම් බිල් පත් ගනුදෙනු සිදු කරන්න ඔබට පුළුවන්. MySLT app එක හරහා SLT මොබිටෙල් වෙබ් අඩවියෙන් බිල්පතේ QR එකකින් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් බැංකින් හා බැංකින් net මගින් ඔබේ ආරක්ෂාව වෙනුවෙන් වගකීම් ඉටු කරන SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
මේ පහසුව පෙන්වන එක විදිය. MySLT app කියන්නේ පහසුවට කියන තවත් නම. අතන මෙතන හැමතැනම තියෙන සේවාවන් එක තැනකට ගෙන MySLT app. දැන් සියලුම SLT මොබිටෙල් සේවාවන් වලට MySLT app හරහා එකවර පිවිසීමේ හැකියාව. SLT මොබිටෙල් එකම එක සැබඳියාව.
Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained by 5 points to close at 7,355.14 and the S&P SL 20 gained by 14.97 points to close at 2,956.04. The turnover was 2.6 billion rupees and over 139 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all we have for today. Join with us tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.
දැන් නිවසේ සිටම ආරක්ෂාකාරීව පහසුවෙන් SLT මොබිටෙල් හෝම් බිල් පත් ගනුදෙනු සිදු කරන්න ඔබට පුළුවන්. MySLT app එක හරහා SLT මොබිටෙල් වෙබ් අඩවියෙන් බිල්පතේ